Hello everyone, it's Nono here, and today I want to welcome you to live stream number 17. So we've been going for 17 weeks already. This is part 3 of how to add or port your models to Runway ML. In part 3, we're going to see how to publish your models from GitHub so other people can also use them, and also an introduction to StyleGAN, what it is, and how you might be able to train or to use it on Runway. We're not going to have time to train today, but at least we'll try to wrap or add one model that we have pre-trained on Runway. Before we continue, I'll please ask you to leave a comment on the chat if you can hear me okay and everything looks good and if there's sound. All right, let's get started. I can see some familiar faces already on the chat. So for newcomers, if this is the first time that you're watching a video or connecting to the live stream, my name is Nono Martinez Alonso, and this is the Nono.ma live stream. We are currently doing a series of machine learning videos and tutorials and hands-on coding sessions where we just look at algorithms and try to understand them and to do creative coding with them. Train things, generate images, or just learn how to use frameworks such as TensorFlow or PyTorch or tools like Runway and Load. All right, I will ask you to like the video if you want to see more of this content and if you want to help other people find this channel. Subscribe if you're interested and want to get notified when I go live next and when I upload new videos. You can also join us in the community. So we have a Discord server at nono.ma/Discord. You'll find the invite. And if you have coding questions, if you want to learn machine learning, if you want to be up to date with the live streams and with other things that we're doing, also with the Getting Simple podcast, that's the place to go. All right. Last week, as I mentioned before, last week we did live stream 16, which was part 2. We successfully managed to use our customly trained models of Pix2Pix in Runway. And we actually did a training run or a few training runs on that session. We also looked at things like DigitalOcean and Docker, and you can go watch it on my channel. Okay, what about today? What do you think we're doing? Today, we're going to look at how to publish with Runway, the model that we did last week. So we actually did a hands-on session, I think it was 3-hour long session, where we used Docker, DigitalOcean, Pix2Pix, and Runway to interact with an edge to flowers models. Those flowers were tulips, roses, sunflowers, or daisies. There are many models. And, this is one of the outputs that we managed to get. So we had images on the left that are hand sketch drawings, and then we produced the images on the right with different models. The images in that case that we used for training were 512 by 256. Each of those images, you can see the A is the input and the B is the output, were 256 pixels in width and height. And today, we're going to see some new things with StyleGAN. I've been recording a set of videos that I'll publish, we're not going to do that today, of using Runway training, so how to load credits into my account, how to prepare a dataset, and how to use that dataset to train an image generation or like a generative image model, what's called a generative machine learning model that generates images with Runway. And it's actually using StyleGAN on the backend. This is, the successful attempt, and on the other spectrum is the StyleGAN checkpoints that I've trained on Google Colab that I haven't shown on the channel yet, but with different experiments. This is a dataset that is called the Edward Ruscha Photograph Collection of Sunset Boulevard that belongs or is provided by the Getty Research Institute. And these are 2 different checkpoints. You can see the name there that says network snapshot and the number, and then PKL. That's a pickle file. It's like saving a Python variable to a file, dumping it that you can reload later. These are checkpoints that you can use to load the model. So train from that checkpoint and continue training, then save it. And then you can load it again and generate images or produce what's called latent spacewalks to do things like this one. So these are latent spacewalks these are actually not latent spacewalks. These are images that you see each of the vectors on. So each of these images has an input vector that makes a model or one of those pickle files output or generate an image. And each of the changing frames that you can see here is one different step on the training cycle. So we're generating images at every couple steps. And yeah, so let's code. I don't think I have any other slides here today, but we're gonna start quickly and get started with coding. All right, again, I will let you know or ask you, let me know if the audio and video are good on the chat so I know that everything's working and I'm not muted or something like that. That's happened before. All right, today we covered our intro slides already. So I'm gonna make this like a checkable list. We're going to see how to publish a model with Pix2Pix from a GitHub repository. And we're going to use some code like we did last week to wrap or to add Pix2Pix checkpoints into Runway. We're going to try that with StyleGAN. So StyleGAN has, you can save checkpoints if you train outside of Runway. If you train with Runway, there's a really nice UI, really nice user experience. You have to pay, but it's really nice. And I'll take this time also to say hello to Bea, to Pedro, and to Sajed that are talking on the chat. Feel free to drop your name and say hi, where you're connecting from and why you found us. All right, so let's start quickly with coding. So Pix2Pix Runway. So we have a repository which we did commit some code last week. So we actually made 2 commits last week. We did update the requirements file. So we bumped the TensorFlow version we have to 2.4.0. Python version to 3.7. I think we could work with 3.6 as well. And we just refactored a bit the code for the Python Runway server to let us know what port we were running on. It's a bit technical, but that's what we did. And for this file, we did the same Python, and then we did some other code changes to update the checkpoint we were using, print the checkpoint path to make sure we know what model we're inferencing with. And then I made some changes here to save images locally that we're not going to see, but I think this turned out nicely. I refactored the way that you pre-process, predict, and then output an image. And this way it's understood fairly well. And this casting function we recently improved because it was wrong before. I made a predict batch file. This predict batch file lets you just call this file and predict over a folder if you change the paths and put it to the right place. And then a python.py file. Yes, to predict. Okay, so we have this model here, and actually if we go back to this document, if we go to the GitHub repo that we're going to use afterwards, you can see here there is this open app runwayml.com and then some model information, right? If before I open, right, well, let's just open it here. So when I open this, the first thing you can see is that this goes to app runway models Marcio Puga Persian GAN. This actually is a URL that we can link to from anywhere we want, and we'll see now what happens. So this URL actually is not what you saw. This is an open app entry point in Runway. They probably have like a little application there that reroutes people here, and then you just put the model variable with the username, at least I think is the username on GitHub, and then the name of the model. And you know, if we look in here, so if we resize this and look at the URL, this is Marcio Puga Persian StyleGAN. And I don't understand how this works by putting Marcio Puga / Persian GAN, because there is no relationship to this model in there. I don't know if maybe on the Runway ML the name is defined or something. Not really. I don't really know how that's working. Let's try to see if there is another repo. Not really. All right, so that's Marcio Puga, and we're just gonna try to do that. So the first thing I'll do, let me just try to see, and I have here my Pix2Pix Runway model, and the first thing I'm just gonna do, I'm tempted to do, is to construct my own URL, just to see how that works, if that actually does anything. So we do Pix2Pix Runway, right? So this is that URL that we had, and then just my username on GitHub and the name of my repository. All right, so we're gonna scroll, I'm gonna click on enter, redirect into Runway. this model does not exist. Take me back home. All right. Why doesn't this exist? It's because we haven't really added the model into Runway. What we want to do is open Runway first and see the interface that last week disappeared because of a glitch on one of the versions they ship. Right now I'm in 0.17.5. And just to let you know, something I discovered recently, even though now they have a web version, if you want to work with the local version, just go to runwayml.com/download. And the application will start downloading promptly, right? You can see here, this is downloading. We're going to cancel because I already have it. We'll just go to this button here and clear all. And that's it. So you're downloading the app for Mac. You can go to download and you can get it there, right? So we have the web UI and the local version. All right, so here, this is Runway. And this is the application that is installed on my system. It's an Electron app that I can browse through and find on my system. And what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna go and let me change sides here. So I'm on the left. Let me just move here so you can also see. When I click here on, well, you can click on models, right? And you can browse models, view all models, and explore models that other people have made public and that the Runway guys have put here. I guess there is some way to make this public, but you can go to my models here. So go to my models, and then, I let it load because I actually have a few models here already. So I have these two different models. This one we'll see I've trained on Runway. This one I think I wrapped the way that we're going to wrap this now. And then this model template. And let's actually say, let's create new from GitHub, right? So this menu disappeared last week and we couldn't use it. Luckily, I already had a project that was created with the develop advanced function. Just so you see quickly, this is just a demo in case you want to go back to last week's video. If I go to the code that we did on livestream 15 and we do the pix-to-pix runway, right? I created in that video the runway. Let me actually make sure I don't say things that are not true. So I'm listing my environments. So let's actually go and try to just do conda activate runway and try to see what version of TensorFlow we have. So we are gonna load TensorFlow and we also should have Runway. So right now we're gonna get here the version of TensorFlow that is installed on my machine, and that's 2.4, and then we imported Runway. We can see it's just like a framework loaded there. All right, so we're on the right place. So we're on the right conda environment. So I can do now Python runway _ model. And whatever is set up there, I hope it's good. It's going to use one of the checkpoints that I put there for pix-to-pix. The model has loaded, which is good. And now at localhost, so port, so IP 0.0.0.0, and then the port 8000, we can add, clicking here again. So let's just do it slowly. Develop, we can say live 17. This is a development server. We create it, and then I get this here, right? So we've created a new workspace and we have this model created here. And this is Runway develop mode. You have documentation and you have model samples that you can see, but you can go back to live 15 and live 16 to see those. All right, so here in host, we said 0000. We can do localhost, which is the same. And then instead of 9,000, we'll do 8,000. So if I do 9,000, right, and I click connect, it's gonna tell me that that server doesn't exist. But if we do 8,000, that is where the server is actually at. Actually, this is just connected, right? And we could get an input file, so we could open one of the files that we were using last week. So we can go to live 16, I think, and then get some of the input strokes. Maybe this one. I don't really know what checkpoint is being used, but yeah, here is the output that we are getting from the server, and that's running here, right? This is really nice to develop. You can even set like a debug argument like we saw last week, where if you change code, everything restarts, and then you can keep developing, you can change models and do things. So this is great to develop, and you should go back to the other videos if this is what you want. But for distributing with other people, like to other people, or just for convenience to have the model up there with multiple checkpoints and not have to be developing and running Python code and terminals and things like this, there's another option. So we're going to delete this here. I'm gonna do a bit of a cleanup. So we're gonna, oh, I'm here now, so I don't really know if I disappeared from OBS like all the time. Yes, I am here, and we're just gonna remove this. So this is a model in which, yeah, it's slightly different because of the camera, but we're gonna delete it as well. And I'm gonna keep deleting these ones here. So we're going to see what are these, what is this? Okay, pics to pics. Let's just make a new workspace afterwards. All right, so this is, okay. So, well, let me get back with my camera image first. Right, I think I'm back. And let me move to the left because I've been clicking buttons below here and you probably haven't seen them. All right, so we're here and we were seeing how to do that thing of clicking my model and then going to create new, and then we saw last week how to develop. But now we're gonna do from GitHub. So I'll click these buttons here from GitHub, and because I have linked my Runway account with my GitHub account, I can see some of those repos that are public that I could use, right? So Runway doesn't really know if these are Runway models. It just, this Laravel folio is not actually a Runway model. These dash lines for processing is not even mine. It's not a repo that contains a Runway model, but this one does. And I can click on that one. It will say, okay, let's try to create a model from no ESP/pics2pics Runway. And then I click on next. I name my model. So we're going to call it pics2pics. This is how the model would be listed in Runway. Okay, so pics2pics flowers or pics2pics. No. Yeah, I don't really know. So let's just try to do pics2pics. Yeah, let's just do pics2pics. So we create that one, and this might take a while. So this is how the model, confirm, create. So what's going on here? Previews there, create. So pics2pics live stream live. Let's just do that. Let's try to see. All right, so this is not working for some reason. A model exists that is linked to the same repo pics2pics. Okay, so this is an error that I was expecting to get, and it makes a lot of sense. So let me just close here. So I have this repo here that is already linked to pics2pics. It already has a checkpoint here. And the problem is this model is already linked to the same GitHub repo. So Runway doesn't really let me do that twice, right? What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna try to go here. So let's try to see my models and edit info. And then, oops, something is off. Runway ML is not one of enum values. So it has to be either 2.6, so 2.7 or 3.6, right? So that's an error that we have there. So before we do anything, I'm going to delete this model. So I'm going to go to my settings and I'm gonna go here into the danger zone. This action is permanent. You cannot restore a model once it's deleted. So I'm going to delete the model. So I delete it here. Pics2pics has been deleted. I can go now to my models, and after these updates, that model is gone. All right, so now I could add that model, but I'm not gonna do it instantaneously because we know that there is an error there. So we're just gonna go and fix that error. So we're gonna get a command line here, and we're gonna go to the same repo that we just saw, and we're gonna go and edit that. Let me see. We're gonna edit that runway.yml file. So here the problem is that the supported version is 3.6. So I'm going to add my runway YML model. I'm going to see what we've changed. And I'm going to, so git add runway YML, git status. Okay, and I'm gonna commit that. Set Python version to 3.6. I'm gonna push that, and right, so okay, and once that's done, so now that's pushed to the cloud and we can hopefully see that. All right, and great, so let's go here. So Pix to Pix Runway, and all right, YouTube is telling me that the video is not smooth, but I see it being smooth from my end. So if you can please let me know on the chat if you can hear me and see me okay, that would be really cool. All right, so we have made that new push where we now have this fix. So the Python version is set to something compatible, it's like 3.6, and we're gonna go back to Runway now. So now we're gonna do what we were doing before. Again, create new from GitHub Advanced, Pix to Pix Runway. We can change the name later, so we're gonna do Pix to Pix Live, and we're gonna go to create. So now we don't see that error. So it says, oh, you're almost done. Pix to Pix Live was created. Before publishing your model, please complete the following step. Add the Runway ML file to your repository, create model commands using the Python model SDK, commit and push to GitHub to start your first build. Create commands. Okay, go to model. Your model is being built. This is something that is really nice. So I just give them a repo. So I just give Runway, my account, a repo, put it a name. And what this is doing is that it's actually building a Docker image on the cloud with the latest commit. So the latest state of my code in the cloud. That Docker image would not be on my machine, it would be on their servers. And there is usually support for GPU and CPU to run. And that's something you can configure. But every time you push new code, Runway would let you automatically build a new version of your code to be running, or your model to be running on Runway. So if we go to versions here, you can see that our commit that is here, that is set Python version to 3.6, this is the commit hash. We can click the hash and see what changed. And this state of the code, which is actually pointing, you can see here, is pointing to master. This is the code that is going to be used by Runway to build our model. So right now we're getting a CPU build and a GPU build. This is automatic deployment, like CI/CD pipeline continues. I don't remember right now. So we can see the logs here, so we can see everything that is going on while building that Docker image, right? You can see here, this is actually just the steps of running this model for the model runner CPU Python 3.6 image. In Runway, this is the image that we were referencing. And then we're installing pip install TensorFlow 1.15. That might be on their dependencies, but actually if we go down, we probably see that when we install the pip install requirements.txt, that changes because we're actually collecting TensorFlow 2.4.0. That is a requirement that I set up on my container. Right, so these build steps are completed. So this is actually now building the environment, and this seems like this is a check. It's trying to start the server or the model with Python Runway model. That's what we did for development for CPU. And once that's done, it actually outputs the API of the model. With that API, it will probably generate the UI that we have on Runway to use this model and interact. And now it's finalizing our build. It's like a check that our model works and everything has worked properly. And that's really cool. So in a few minutes, the model is run. So if we go back to that repository, which I'm actually going to just make a shortcut because I keep typing this path. So I'm going to make a symlink from the Pix2Pix repo to this path. So now I can go just to Pix, and if we see the contents of this directory and we see the contents of the Docker file, this Docker file that I have here, it starts from Python Slim, works on the app and stuff, but this is something that I have created. The other image that was created by them that you could see on Runway is something that they handle themselves. It's not something that you're going to have to edit. And what they do is that they just start from a pre-configured image, and then they run the pip install my requirements. So they just install these requirements that I have here into that model. All right, so we have this thing here, and we can see that our CPU build completed. So this is really good because now we can use our CPU model. And I don't really know what this UI is here that is hidden. It's probably behind it. I could stop the builds and I can continue. So this thing here, still building. 4 minutes ago is when it started. We don't really have any checkpoints. So these are the H5 files models that will show up for people. And we have a gallery in case we're going to share a gallery of images. We have the license, we have the settings, and many, many things. Here we can make our model public, which we're not going to do just right now. All right, so my model is being built, host model. This is really cool because this means I can just have my model there. There is no default checkpoint, and the model won't work without checkpoint. And what happens here is that you can make your code open source, but then your models can be kept private, so other people don't really see them. Right, so we can also host the model and add it to a workspace, and we can do many, many things. So this is a model that is being built. I'm not sure if I can add it to a workspace. So live 17, create, and that probably doesn't work yet because the model is not fully built. And you know, I might be able to specify an option for the Pix2Pix model not to be built for GPU in case that doesn't work, right? But maybe our model can make use of GPU even if we're not specifying anything, just because, you know, it's a Keras model and it gets loaded, makes predictions, and it might take advantage of CPU. Right, so let's try once again. Nope, so we're creating empty models there. All right, so before we had an image on the as the cover, right? So I'm just gonna go here and try to look for that quickly on Dropbox. And what can we do? So let's see this version, how it's running. Yeah, I think last time I used this file as my, you know, while this is running, we can go to our gallery and we can see here this image. So I can just put my image in here. I don't know if I can drag and drop. So in my downloads, so this can be on the gallery. And I guess that this image will take some time to upload or not. Yeah. So that's on the gallery, and that now shows up as a cover. Let me make it so it's not square, but landscape. All right. So you got it here. So it's uploading, CPU still building, takes a lot more time. Probably, let's take a look. Oh, it just finished. So the GPU probably also had to install more system dependencies that have to do with, yeah, and we cannot see it now, but other dependencies that have to be with like configuring the GPU to be able to work with CUDA and with other things. All right, so this checkpoint, we can publish it or not. So if we click here, we will unpublish it. Add to workspace. So we can add this checkpoint to workspace, so live 17, and then we go here, and now we have our model. So we have this v1 means that we've got this specific branch, and you know, we could have multiple commits and use different versions of our model. You can see here that there are no checkpoints. So if I use the model, nothing's gonna happen because I don't think it has access to any checkpoints. One thing that you'll note is that to run this model, even locally, you need to have Docker installed. So that's one of the things that makes GPU mode more appealing, because the model will run remotely on the cloud and you won't be having to set up anything on your local machine. While everything's going, let me open Docker so we make sure that we can use the model, and let me also see, because what we're gonna do now is adding the checkpoints to our model and then try to use it that way. So let's wait until Docker is there. And if I go back to my models, I go back to the Pix2Pix in Runway model, and we're going to go and open this Pix folder. We're gonna go, where do we have them? In live 16. So I have all of these checkpoints. So we have all the models in this folder. So we have models for edges to daisies, sunflowers, and edges to tulips. So I think they're not properly named, but we're just gonna get the last checkpoint for each of them. So oops. So I'm gonna go here. So I'm gonna go into the checkpoints tab, and then on upload, we're going to put a preview image. Oh, not the preview image. We might be able to drag and drop here. Not sure if this is a drag and drop interface, but I'll give it some time. So our name is, and this doesn't seem like it's a drag and drop interface. So I'm gonna go here, get the last checkpoint, so that probably has to upload. And we have here edges to, what is this? Tulips. Edges to tulips. And we're not gonna do anything there. We're going to try and get one of the outputs that actually have to do with the tulips. Not here, maybe here, frames. Yeah, so maybe just this one here. And we click on upload checkpoint. So right now this is uploading to the Runway cloud, right? Whatever servers they have. Why is this? Because this is a checkpoint that has to be available for me on any computer on the web version, and for anyone else that wants to run this model either on the cloud or locally on their machine. So when you start a model in Runway, you start always with the option of running locally, downloading whatever checkpoints or something like that. So there is like a configuration that goes on in there. And as we can see, we're almost there. So we're uploading 200 and something megabytes to the cloud. And once this is done, this will be one of the checkpoints that is added into our custom model in Runway. All right, so while this is getting done, what else can we look at? So we have this model here. We're not gonna update anything else. We can close here. And this seems like it's finishing uploading. Can we now get a URL to open this model on the web version, right? I think we have to click on make public, and that way we'll get the model to show up to other people if they put the URL. So uploading, it seems it's hanging there at 100%. All right, so what we're gonna do next is the same process, or at least the development process, with one of the StyleGAN checkpoints. So we have StyleGAN checkpoints that I have here. So I have for live 17, I have these checkpoints that I showed before corresponding to these two images, and we're gonna try to load them. These are also big. These are 380 megabytes a piece, so that's pretty big and takes time to load. And I think we're gonna have to go through this route because we have to run this with GPU. And the way that this will run with GPU is that we make Runway build the thing and then we use the remote cloud version with the GPU. Right, this doesn't seem okay. There was an error uploading checkpoint. Make sure you're connected to the internet. All right, yeah, so that's a bug because the things that should show up are showing on, so behind those menus. So we were waiting there for nothing. All right, so I go to my model again. I go into the Pix2Pix model, which now has the cover image. And we actually don't have to do it this way. So we go into my models and we have to click here on edit info. Then we get to this menu where I'm going to do an edges to tulips and choose here to load the model. So that's 16 models, tulips, and get the last one. So this starts uploading as soon as I choose one of the outputs that we had here. Let's just choose the same one. Let's try to make it work. So this is not here, it's here. Okay, so is this a tulip? I think so. Right, so that's uploaded. So now we're gonna click again on upload checkpoint. Fingers crossed that this is gonna work now, because I do have internet if you're seeing me and this is actually working. So, and now it's slowing down. Not sure what's going on. All right. On the meanwhile, let's try to speed up a bit and clone the other repo. So we're going to go to the Persian StyleGAN and we're gonna make a fork of this repo. So I'm gonna go into here. So there's one fork already. I'm not sure who that is. We can inspect here. So varmar and it's here. And it seems there is some code that is updated 7 months ago. Well, that seems to be exactly at the same point that this one, right? Okay, so we're gonna fork here. So I'm gonna fork with my account. And once this is ready, we're gonna be able to add it to Runway straight away. I don't really know what type of checkpoints this gets, but we can inspect it on the Runway model definition. All right, let's see if this is ready. Oh, there was an error uploading the checkpoint. Make sure you're connected to the internet. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm pretty sure that I'm connected to the internet. All right, let's try to go to the Runway app. So app.runwayml.com. Errors, a lot of errors lately on everything. So my models on the web interface. So this is, note that this is now on Google Chrome, not on my desktop. And I'm gonna go here to edit info as well. And I'm gonna go to checkpoints. I'm gonna try to upload through here. Let's see if this works now. All right, so we go live 16, we get this checkpoint and right, let's do this. Okay, let's actually just do the defaults. Edges to tulips. Not gonna upload the image just to try. And now we're uploading. So this is following the same exact process as before. I don't know how slow or fast it will be, but you know, this might be with the fact that I'm streaming and it's uploading a lot of video over the network, right? So where were we? While this is getting done, I'm gonna put this to the side and close this interface, close this, close that. And where were we? All right, so yeah, I closed the other tab. So Persian StyleGAN. So I have this repo now that is mine, right? I've cloned it. And if we go to Runway model, we can see here, which is really good, a really good sign, is that the the file extension that this model gets is pickle, right? It's PKL. And this is a format that we as well have with the with these checkpoints, right? So these are PKL files that we're going to be able to use with that model. So the first thing I'm going to do before we continue with anything, because it's going to take some time for Runway to do it, I'm going to go and open Runway again, and I'm going to tell it to start building my repo. So my models, create new from GitHub, and now this new repo, we're just going to do create, and that's it. So go to model, and as before, this will start building only GPU version, right? This is what I mentioned before. This version is not compatible with CPU. You need some CUDA stuff. You need some tool called NVCC, which, you know, let's take a look at. NVIDIA might be. Yeah, NVCC is better defined here. So Wikipedia, NVIDIA CUDA compiler is a proprietary compiler by NVIDIA intended for use with CUDA. CUDA runs both on CPU and GPU and separates two parts and sends host code, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it's NVCC. It's a tool by NVIDIA, and you need to run StyleGAN with that, so we cannot run it locally. At least not on my machine, because I don't have a GPU here. All right, so PKL, that's the extension, and let's see what's going on here. So it seems there is also an error uploading the checkpoint. Make sure you are connected to the internet. All right, what's going on, Runway? Why are you failing? Or why is my computer failing? All right, let's just try with another model. Let's try another file, which is going to be the same size. Upload checkpoint. Now we can zoom in here, so that's 0%, and I'm gonna cross my fingers that this works, otherwise this is gonna be a failure. And yeah, so let's just count here and see how this goes. All right, now I want to ask, do you have any questions? Put them on the comments on the chat, or let me know on Discord. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I have been preparing some, and this is kind of a spoiler alert, right? But I've been preparing, let me see where this is. Yeah, so I've been preparing, and we'll see this in future live streams, or simply when I post them online. So let me just go here and check quickly. Uploading 100%. Nope. There was an error uploading the checkpoint. Make sure you are connected to the internet. Error uploading checkpoint. That's really weird, and I don't know why it happens. But it happens the same on the web and on my computer. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work today, but that's how you do it, right? And this is building. Let's see if we can see some of the things that we didn't see before. So the only difference here, the main difference, is that this is starting with CUDA 10. So there's a runtime that is going to run with GPU and CUDA 10. Also the same thing, TensorFlow 1.15 is what starts being there, which actually makes it a bit slower. I don't really know why they do that. And later, we install our dependencies, or the dependencies of this package, which might work with TensorFlow 1.15, I don't know, but this is actually installing TensorFlow GPU 1.15.2, which is what StyleGAN has to be run with. And this is stuff that is being downloading and different dependencies, so this could take a while, as it says. All right, so this is still building, this is still private, and this error we keep seeing, so we're not going to be able to run these checkpoints today, it seems. All right, so what if let me do one thing. While this is building, I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to see some stuff with StyleGAN, and I'll be back. So let's just zoom in to here. Well, actually, we have a slide for this kind of situation. Is it this one here? All right, I'll be back in a second. All right, what could go wrong? Okay, so this has also failed. 7 minutes and oh, I'm not here. Okay, I'm here now. So this has also failed. Not sure why. This is something we could expect because I haven't tried this before, so I'm not sure. And let's see what's happening here on the logs. Let's see what error. This is really good because we get some insight on what's going on. So command error with exit status 1 while installing the requirements. So cannot import name feature. Markup save. Is this our problem? What is this? Miniconda. Cool. Well, let's just do the due diligence. Let's just go here, markup save. I cannot reproduce, blah, blah, blah. All right, looks like it's probably the latest setup tools release. For those finding this issue, setup tools finally removes undeprecated code. This had been fixed in markup save 19, but for some reason I reverted to that fix made it into 1.0, then was removed again. Upgrade to the latest markup save, which is at this time 1.1.1. So let's take a look at what we have right now on our end. So version StyleGAN, this is my own repo, so we can now edit it. Let's go to the requirements. So here, the problem is we don't really have markup save as a dependency, so we're not sure. Runway Python. So we need to see what this is a dependency of. So let's just copy this into Visual Studio Code. All right. So let's see, markup save. Downloading 1.1.1. Pip is looking at multiple version markup save. This could take a while. Markup. Command error with exit status 1. All right, so this is collecting Runway, SciPy. Whose dependencies markup safe? I don't really know. Okay, so let's do one thing to not waste your time, because this seems to be a problem that I might not solve here live. I want here to, and this failed. Well, first, let's see if there is any other repo that has solved this, so we don't have to do it. StyleGAN 2, Runway YML. This is awesome. So this is Gene Kogan. And this might be StyleGAN 2 as well. So this is up to date, it seems. Pillow, SciPy is using 1.15.0. Let's take a look at the... Wow, that is a lot of dependencies here. Markup save. All right. Let's try to fork this one. So let's try to fork this repo here and try it. That might be a good solution, because I haven't really changed any code on the other one. So, and right, so we have the Runway ML file, and we're gonna go here. So we're going to go back, and we're gonna go back to our models, create new from GitHub, and we don't see a repo yet. Oh, here it is. StyleGAN, so I'm going to call this Gene StyleGAN 2. This is from Gene Kogan, and go to model. All right, so this is going to take some time to build, also only building for GPU. So what can we do while this is loading? I'm going to share with you some of the other work, or some of the other things that I've been recording, right? Just as a comment, it's really cool to have that output log of the Docker install instructions, because that way you can debug and see what the errors are. All right, so spoiler. This is what I've been recording lately, and something that you can expect to see from me on the channel pretty soon. So the first video, which of course we're not going to cover right now, it's how to train StyleGAN in Runway. And the part 2 is dataset creation. So we see what you need to do to train models like this one. And the summary of it is like, and this is just information. If you're watching, we'll have videos that talk through this and explain everything step by step in a focus style. 5,000 images is what's recommended for training a network like this one. 1024 is the highest resolution you can use right now with the Flickr Faces HQ dataset has that, so it's been pre-trained for like days or months in like a lot of computers. and it allows you to do transfer learning and just retrain your model with this high resolution in a matter of like 2 to 4 hours. 3,000 training steps. So you can do from 3,000 to 5,000 is a recommended, specifically in Runway, that will cost you from 15 to 25 bucks. And the second part, also by me, is training StyleGAN in Runway part 2, which is covering the actual training. So how to load the dataset and kick off the job. In that example, I actually used 4,927 images, not 5,000. I used images that are skewed, so they're like in proportion 3 to 2, I think it was 1024 by 691. And what I do is that I skew them. So I stretch them to actually be 1024 by 1024. And I trained for 3,000 steps. It took somewhere around 3 hours, I think, and the results were pretty good. So this was my initial dataset. Is, as mentioned before, the Edward Ruscha photographies of Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, provided by the Getty Research Museum, that even though they were 3:2 proportion, I converted all of them with Mogrify, with a tool that is provided by ImageMagick from this one, so 10,024,691 to that one, which is squared at 1024. This is what the dataset really looks like, with like almost 5,000 images, and this is what it looks, what I showed before, when the experiment is done on Runway. So it's like, what? This is done, and now you can play with it and use it. I haven't played with it yet. And this is something that Runway gives you for free. It gives you GIFs and videos from these hallucinations of, in this case, Sunset Boulevard, but it will be of whatever you're training. And this is another example that we did with one of the checkpoints that I wanted to try to load today into Runway. And yeah, so that's pretty cool, I think, and you will see more of this in the coming weeks. This is just the training process from that time-lapse or latent spacewalk that you saw before. And this is another one, which is doing transfer learning from one of the checkpoints that I showed before. All right, so that is to pass our time, and I'm gonna close this and this. And it seems like something else failed. So what did fail? Cannot install Ankeras because this package version have conflicting dependencies. Okay, yeah, I think we can actually maybe remove some of the dependencies that we have. So Ankeras can install Keras applications because TensorFlow GPU 1.15 depends on Keras applications 1.8. All right, let's see. What if we this is something that is called freezing the dependencies, right? So if we see on my repo, my version of my fork of Gene's repo, I can go and edit now these files. So Keras applications is frozen at 1.0.7. So requirements, Python syntax. Let's see, just to make sure that we're not going to commit something that doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, this is the syntax that I'm using, so greater than an version. So I'm going to commit that, and we'll have to see if that works. So commit changes, and now once we push that change, right? So I've pushed new code to the cloud. By default, automatically, Runway grabs that change, and now it's building the version 2. The first one failed, and now we're building version 2. So we can see where it failed. So it failed here at minute 30, second 38, that might be. Well, maybe we can actually see if it fails now. So in a second. All right, at least it passed the 38 seconds. So it might be that it's actually building right now. All right, so let's try to see just once more. I want to try once again here. So the first thing that I will do here, so we've done this model and it doesn't really have any checkpoints. I opened Docker before because we were gonna try this, and I could make this model public, right? There's nothing there, but I could make it public. Now I get this URL, right? This might be the updated way of linking to models. But if I copy this thing here and I were to go to even to an incognito window, you can see that anyone can see this. So if you access right now on your machine, nono/pix2pix live, you're gonna be able to see this exactly. And you can see the model, you can add it to your workspaces and you can use it. You can arguably use it because it doesn't have any checkpoints. So we could go into Runway, and I'm happy that this has been building for 2 minutes now. So you can go to my models, I can go to Pix2Pix Live, and note that here I can use local and CPU. So I can click below here and click on download locally. And what that does is you have to have Docker installed to use this model locally. All right, so why doesn't this know that I'm running Docker already? So this is the desktop app, and I'm gonna do local CPU, download locally, get Docker. I have Docker installed. That's odd. So I'm gonna close Runway again and open and make sure that's not happening. Right, once again, Pix2Pix Live, models not installed, download locally. You have to have Docker installed to use this model locally. Not sure why that's happening. Restart. Do we have Docker compose? Compose. Yeah, we do. We have Docker that is now restarting. So yeah, but it's already there. So download. Yeah, so this tells us, you know, that Docker should be running soon. And Docker is running now. So download. You need to have Docker installed to use this model locally, get Docker. That's really odd. Like, this hasn't happened to me recently. Okay, so we're gonna go, let's see if something works today. I'm glad that the beginning worked at least. And you know, I have here the training run that I showed before. You can see the latent spacewalk. Well, that doesn't work. My models, let's go to Gene StyleGAN, versions, update requirements. Yeah, so that's just that. The GPU build. This is taking longer than usual, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so sometimes it takes time to resolve the dependencies. But not sure why that's happening. All right, so we can actually close this while everything is getting done. I'm not sure why Runway is not picking up that Docker is running. So I'm gonna put the So Runway keeps telling me that I need to run Docker, which I already have. So let's just test with some other model. So let's try to go and get another model and see if it tells me that Docker is not installed. Local CPU download. All right, so it's actually not detecting that I have Docker installed on my machine. So that's really weird. Maybe check for updates. Not working. Right, so we'll do one more thing. So monitor terminal. So Runway is not running. Docker is running. So yeah, so my only hope, well, first let's just try to see if the model, StyleGAN model, is building. My only hope here is that we can restart my machine and then try if that works or not, but it's a bit weird. Still building. Yeah, I'm not sure why this happens. All right, while this is getting built, because this works also on the cloud, it might fail, it might not. I'm gonna stop streaming and I'm gonna come back after I restart. I don't know how much time it's gonna be, but hopefully we can try if that's the issue with my machine. Okay, I'll see you in a second. So I'll come back and we'll come back to streaming. So I'm going to not end the stream. All right, I think I'm back. So I'm back online. We just made a little pause there and we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna make sure that we test all the things that we didn't have working before, and hopefully they do work. So I've opened my machine and I've opened Runway. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to my models and try again on adding. So first downloading the Pix2Pix checkpoint. So it says it's not installed locally. So when I click, it tells me again that Docker is not installed. There's something weird going on here, because Docker is indeed working there. So maybe we can go to the Runway Slack channel and ask for one of those questions. All right, but what if we could run that on the cloud? So again, we're gonna go, and we had the same problem locally and remotely. So we're gonna go to checkpoints, outload checkpoint, and I'm not gonna bother on changing the name right now. So I'm just gonna we haven't tried the Daisies one yet. Let's just put here Daisies so it's not long, and then upload. So my connection is the same as before, so I probably should have tried while I wasn't streaming to see if this is actually something that has to do with my upload capacity of my network right now. But yeah, let's see what it does, and if it fails the same way than it did before. If it does, I might try to stop my network and try to upload it and then come back online. It seems like that wasn't that bad, right? Like going offline. You can hear me okay, right? Okay, so 100. And that's there. Say clock. And same error happens. All right. This is a never-ending set of errors here. All right. What about StyleGAN? It's still building, so yeah, so it seems like it needs a lot of time to define or determine the versions of the different requirements that we have on our requirements file. I'm not sure why that's done this way, but let's just let it think. Hopefully that works and we can run one of our StyleGAN checkpoints soon. But I'm thinking that we might not be able to upload them through the interface, so not sure how this is going to work. So it's been building for 17 minutes now. All right, so we now go, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go offline once more. Sorry for people who are watching this live, it's gonna be a bit choppy, but it's going to be a bit smoother for people who are just watching after the fact. All right, so models. And the last thing I can try from the mind of a programmer is that I'm going to put this on a simpler path, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to try to upload from there. So without a weird naming convention, and then we just upload with the default naming. I'm not sure if this is going to work or what's going on with this, but there seems like there might be something on this UI that is not working. And while that's there, I might be able to go into the app.runway.ml, so ml.com, and see my model. So I might be, while that's uploading there, so let's just put that to the side. We might see that this has crashed or not. All right, 20 minutes, still looking at dependencies here. Protocol error, Flask compressed, downloading Flask. Well, not sure if that will work, but hopefully it does. Okay, what else? What else can we look at? So let me just show you. All right, that worked now. So this actually worked, and it might be because of the complex path. So I might have found a bug that I might, I should actually log on their channel. So probably runwayml slack.com. So let's just go here so we can actually open this thing here. I'm going to report a bug, and I'm going to go into the live 16 models, edges to bases, and we're going to get the path. So that's going to be, so we can probably do that. All right. Okay, debugging bugs. Hi everyone. All right, let's make this big so you can see it. So we'll say hi everyone. I think I found a bug when creating a model from GitHub, and let's put this one here. All right, so let's just put some. When creating a model from GitHub and trying to upload checkpoints, I can't upload files with this long path and naming convention, whereas uploading from a simpler path and name, say users no desktop basis.h5, it works perfectly. Weird thing is that Runway's error message wasn't helping. Made me believe it was a problem with my internet connection. So we're going to replicate that bug. So we're going to make a video recording of that. So if I want to do a video recording, how can I capture this? So let's just try to do this. Right, so we'll record, so upload. Oops, probably not good. Maybe just that. So we're gonna record, so upload a file. Not. Right, let me just move this before we start recording. Cool. All right, so we click here, record, we click on upload file, and we just choose a file. You just go to our path, so models, this is, and then this one, this is .h5, last, and upload checkpoint. So right now we're gonna have to wait just a few seconds until this gets uploaded, and you know, we are not gonna test probably the other model, but we could. So we now have those checkpoints. We know we can train more models and add more checkpoints, and we could do the same with StyleGAN if it gets to work. And I'm really curious about whether that works or not. All right, so I'm gonna go on my other screen because we're recording screen right now here. I'm gonna take a look at the StyleGAN model and see if that works or not. Right, so now when we click out, this is what we're getting. All right, so that we're going to see where that is located. So it's probably on my Dropbox folder. So we're gonna click OK. On the meanwhile, I'm just gonna test with, okay, let me go here into Finder and go to upload another model. So we're gonna get the sunflower one and the tulips. All right, and we're gonna do here some flowers, and there's gonna be tulips. And we go here, we just get the models. We're not gonna customize too much, so some flowers, we upload, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to edit that video. So we're gonna get here, so the latest video is this one. We're gonna go here, and this is a MOV video, and Runway checkpoint upload bug. So I copy this, and I have a MOV command to make this video. Oh, no such file, or to make, oh, MOV. Yeah, so I have a command with FFmpeg. I convert this video to MP4, and then because it's actually pretty high, we might be able to rescale it. Or if it's not too big, we'll just send it that way. All right, so let's see, this model is now uploaded, sunflowers is ready, and we're gonna upload tulips. So upload that checkpoint. And I'm curious if it's a matter of the naming convention or if it's actually the path. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to break it again with one of those models. So let's say the tulips model, or like the daisies model, on the same location, but with that weird naming. So we have this one here with that naming. We're gonna go into Runway. So this is uploading, so we'll wait. I can take a look at StyleGAN version here. It's still building. So this thing is still building. Downloading flash compress. It's trying to go down, and the connection keeps being rejected. So I don't know if that's going to build properly. All right, and that's uploaded. So in here we can do edit. So we can now say, let's say we edit, and then we click, and then say This we can do public, make public, and then save. So we can edit this one, public, and then this one, then make public and save. So I have those, and we're gonna try this test here, and I'm just gonna put a simple name. This is v2 from desktop with long name. All right, so we're gonna click here and let's see if that works or not. So I don't know if the StyleGAN thing is gonna get solved. So I have it here, and this is taking ages, it seems. But what's good is that we successfully managed to work with pix2pix, and now I could actually, so if I do, I think pix2pix Runway, so I can, let's see if this works. So this model doesn't exist. No. Right, so that doesn't exist. So let's see what URL the Runway interface is giving me for my model. So I'm gonna get out of here, models, my models, edit info, I made it publicly. All right, so it's actually the name of the model that I gave and my username, nothing to do with my GitHub username. So we're gonna open my repo. So we're gonna open the repo, and we're just going to edit the about, which we're just gonna add here. So we can do Runway model, pix2pix, machine learn, pix2pix, machine, can do that. So maybe machine learning and ML. Save changes. Cool, so now these models here, anyone can click, even if I do an incognito window, so you can see the model. And you can not see the checkpoints, right? At least not here. You probably have to add to workspace to see that. But for me, right, so this failed. And all right, so let's actually send that video. So the bugs, right, so we have this video, and let's wrap up now. So we have the video here, which is 1.7 megabits, which is pretty good. When creating a model, so to simplify it, it seems like the problem always happens with that. Right, let's see the video that I'm sending before I send it. So I'm sending this video where I upload, click on the checkpoints, do that, and then when it fails, all right. All right. Great, so that's a bug there, and that's been reported. Cool. All right, so we have that, and we have this URL you can try, and this keeps downloading, so I'm just gonna leave that. We'll probably see that some other day. So if I now add my model to a workspace, let's just do it here again. Now I can see the checkpoints, right? These checkpoints don't have any preview image, which would show there if it had it, and I can not download locally because I don't, Docker is not detected, but I could download the checkpoint, so I can download the tulips checkpoint, then that gets starts downloading there, and I will be able to use it running this with the CPU local mode, as we did before, but this is from Runway getting a Docker image. And now when, this is taking some time, I'm gonna actually cancel that download, and I'm going to archive this, so delete these things, gonna clean up a bit. Put this into my my videos folder. Where is my videos folder? Right, and that's it. So let's just open up. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, any comments or whatever, just leave them on the comments. I just want to say that this was part of the machine learning series. Like the video if you want to help us for more people to reach the channel, and if this is the type of content that you enjoy, and subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live or when I upload new videos. You can also join us on the community. So there is a Discord server at nono.ma/discord. You'll find the invite. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.